Welcome in, Saints fans. This is Saints Game Day, driven by Placer Motors. I'm Daniel Sally. Joining me, as always, the Hall of Famer Gary Turcotte from the Brad Schmidt Allstate Insurance broadcast booth as we get ready to bring you another Frontier Conference doubleheader tonight at the PE Center between the Bulldogs of Montana Western and the Fighting Saints of Carroll College. And Coach Turcotte, as we get things going here, looking at the women's game tonight, Carroll Fighting Saints 16-4 on the season, 4-2 in Frontier Conference play. Montana Western 12-6 on the season, 2-4 in conference play. COVID forfeit last weekend, however, so take that into account in a little bit. But starting with Carroll, looked like they were down for a little bit, had a tough loss to Rocky Mountain College at home, then went on the road last week and lost at Providence. On Saturday, it wasn't the prettiest win, but they did go on the road to Havre and win in a pretty convincing fashion, especially how they played defense in that one, and they got back in the win column leading into this week.
Well, in that game that you're talking about up in Havre, Northern was just so determined to slow that game down, walk it up the court, and then run the shot clock down every time. It was hard to generate much momentum, and so Carroll did press in that game more than we've ever seen them, just trying to get the tempo up. But I don't think that'll be a problem here tonight. Western, they like to get it up, and they like to run, and they'll take some early shots, and we'll see more up-tempo tonight.
And that's a good segue. This Montana Western team, 12-6 under their head coach, Lindsey Woolley, and not the best start to their conference season that they would have hoped for, but we know what they're capable of. I mean, we saw them play earlier in December. We'll get to that in a little bit. But they like to bring pressure. They play that zone that can be deadly along with their press. And offensively, they can really get to the hoop, and they have really good guard play, as well as Brinley Fitzgerald, who's just kind of an all-Army or all-everything Swiss Army knife player who can score the ball any which way.
I think you summarized them perfectly, Daniel. They do like to play zone. Their coach, Lindsey Woolley, will adjust the zone as the game goes. That's really his forte. And they run different types of zones and different types of slides out of their zones. And that's their primary defense. He doesn't like to play man unless he has to.
And like we mentioned, these two teams faced off back in December. We had the call for that one, and it was neck and neck all throughout the first half. And then I don't know if you remember, but Carroll forced a shot clock violation right before halftime. Camden threw a Hail Mary pass, and Sienna buried a three at the buzzer going into the halftime break. And that got us going. In the second half, Jamie Pickens scored 14 points and got us an 11-point victory, 60-49. So it was tight for the most part, but Carroll really showed their strengths down the stretch of that game.
Oh, that's right. I had forgotten about that three-point shot at the buzzer. And that, a lot of times we talk about the first 3 minutes of the second half, but it turned out that the last 30 seconds of the first half.
Really the last 2.8 seconds.
2.8 seconds, yeah, was pretty important in that ball game. That really was amazing how that affected the outcome of that game. I can't believe it, but it did.
Yeah, and we went to the post very effectively in that game as well. Like I mentioned, Jamie had a big game.
Yeah.
Danny knocked down a couple threes in that one. I think the important thing to remember about Western is they really make you work to get your shots. So if you don't have something set in stone how you want to go about your business, that's going to hurt you. And then you got to be ready to improvise when they're running that attack. I mean, you've said a number of times as we've played them over the last couple seasons, sometimes it feels like they got 6 people out there on the court playing in that defense. So well, it's a lot of work.
The two guards, Sydney Sheridan and Shani Mack, both about 5'8" and athletes. And they really set the tone in that zone. They cover a lot of ground. They pressure the ball. They get deflections. And they're the ones that set the whole tone for everything that happens in that zone.
Well, we've seen Carroll face some tough teams a lot, but I don't know if they face a lot of teams that play pressure defense like Western does. Luckily, they've played this Western team once before, so hopefully that'll help them in tonight's game.
Well, and they played them last year and
5 times.
5 times, believe it or not. And so they've seen this zone before, but that doesn't mean that you're going to be effective. Zones are so different, Daniel. Some nights they're really effective and some nights they're not. You just never know.
And it would be 7 straight wins against Montana Western, but it's 6 straight wins against Montana Western for Carroll, dating back to that 2019-2020 season. The last time Western beat us was that game in Dillon where, I don't know if you remember this, but it was Big Nell who hit the shot at the buzzer to beat us. So that was the last time they beat us. I think they're going to come to Helena looking for a win tonight.
That Big Nell, she was a nightmare. She was such a great player. First of all, she was a great competitor. Nobody in the league that I've been around watching women's basketball played harder than her. And then she could make shots, and when it counted, she made shots. When it really mattered, she made shots. And just such a great leader. I hope that she's coaching somewhere.
Capital.
Oh, she's at Capital?
Yeah.
Oh, she is? That's wonderful. Yeah.
Well, we're going to go ahead and take our first break here. But when we come back, we'll be joined in the Rutgers Furniture Coach Lounge by the head coach of the Fighting Saints, Rochelle Sayers. You're listening to Saints Game Day, driven by Placer Motors on Rewind 94.9 and KCAP.com. Welcome back in. It's Saints Game Day, driven by Placer Motors. Daniel Sally here inside the Brad Schmidt Allstate Insurance broadcast booth with the Hall of Famer Gary Turcotte inside the PE Center as we get ready for Game 1 of tonight's Frontier Conference doubleheader between the Carroll College Fighting Saints and the Montana Western Bulldogs. And Gary, as we look at tonight's game, there's one thing I got my eye on for this Carroll basketball team, and it seems like it's been a theme their last 3 or 4 games. I'm interested to see how they start this game.
Yeah.
Because, we know what they're capable of, but they've had slow starts. They got a couple buckets on their first 2 possessions last week at MSU Northern, but before that it seemed like out of the gate they're struggling. It's not like they're putting themselves in these big holes, but they're not the team we know for the first 3-4 minutes of the game, and I think it sets them back a little bit. And I don't know. I just feel like I'm looking for a better start. Well,
they've missed a lot of bunnies last week. They did both games, and buddies I mean like layups and putbacks. And that'll slow your momentum. And, that's one thing I know they're working on. They're really putting a lot of emphasis on practice. They're breaking it down and working on getting the ball back up on the backboard and finding your target. But sometimes that can be a mental thing, and it can take a while to get over that.
Yeah, and you can't let that zone press, that trap that Western runs, you can't let that get under your skin early in the game. Otherwise, it's going to show vulnerability.
Right.
You can't have that happen.
Right. And Western likes that press, and they do it effectively, and they change their press up. Usually they start the game, Daniel, and the press is pretty soft, and you get a lot of confidence. And then as the game goes on, especially when it gets down to crunch time, they'll really pick up the intensity of the press, and they'll really, really get after you. And if you've gotten sloppy because earlier you had no trouble with it, that's when they'll get you.
And as we continue to look ahead at tonight's game, I'm interested to see – looking at the guard play for Carroll, it's been pretty consistent all season. I think we're due for another Danny Wagner big-time game, though. So that's what I got my eyes out on tonight.
Well, Danny is a zone buster. There isn't a better shooter in the state at any level than Danny Wagner. She's a zone buster, but, you got to figure that Western understands that, too, and going to really spread their zone out and try to take away her catch and shoots because she's lethal if she gets very many of them. She gets a good look, leaves her hand. I'm always surprised if it doesn't go in.
And last time it was Jamie Pickens with 14 second-half points who killed Western in the second half. I mean, they just kept going down to her, whether it was an offensive putback, an elbow jumper, going up and under. She beat him in a lot of different ways. I imagine there's going to be a lot of emphasis on stopping her, which maybe is going to open some things up for our outside shooters.
Well, they really had no matchup for Jamie last time, and the zone was spread to get after Carroll shooters, so there wasn't a lot of help when Carroll did get the ball into Jamie.
Well, we're getting ready for a tip-off here, Gary, as we look at this Montana Western team on the other side of it. A lot of familiar faces. Obviously, we talked about their guards, Sydney Sheridan, Shani Mack, really the head of the snake when they send them out defensively, but they can also get you offensively with their ability to get to the hoop. They also surround them with some shooters. Jenny Weber, most notably, is a three-point sniper on this team. Brinley Fitzgerald, we already talked about. She can score all over the court. And then off the bench, you got Joel Momberg and Lily Gopher, who are really spark players, kind of like what Maddie does for us off the bench. Yep. They kind of do the same thing for this Western team. So Carroll's going to have their hands full defensively as well, but they have been really good on that side of the ball as of late.
Brinley Fitzgerald, I've seen her go off. I mean, in this gym, go off.
37 points one time.
It was unbelievable. And I think she's one. It's so important how she starts. If she hits her first couple of shots, could be in for a long day for Carroll. If she misses them, then you maybe you got a chance to hold her down to maybe 15, 16 points. But that time she got 37 points. I never saw anything like it. It was amazing.
Well, we're going to go ahead and take a break, but when we come back, we're going to have tip-off here at the PE Center of Game 1 in tonight's Frontier Conference doubleheader between Carroll College and Montana Western. Tip-off is next here on Your Home for the Saints, Rewind 94.9 and KCAP.com.
Montana Western and your
Welcome back in, everybody. Daniel Sally and Gary Turcotte here inside the Brad Schmidt Allstate Insurance broadcast booth as we get ready for tip-off between the Montana Western Bulldogs and the Carroll College Fighting Saints. Gary, let's go ahead and meet tonight's starting lineups. First for the visiting Bulldogs at forward, a junior out of Dillon, Montana, number 3, Brinley Fitzgerald. At guard, a 5'9" sophomore out of Chicago, Illinois, number 11, Jenny Weber. At guard, a 5'8" sophomore out of Three Forks, Montana, number 12, Shani Mack. Also a guard at 5'7", a sophomore right here out of Helena, Montana, number 23, Sydney Sheridan. And rounding it out in the post, a 6'1" forward out of Big Timber, Mesa King. Looking at the starters for Carroll College, at guard, a 5'9" senior out of Havre, Montana, number 4, Danny Wagner. At forward, a 5'9" senior out of Fairfield, Washington, number 10, Christine Denny. At the point guard position, a 5'8" senior out of Clancy, Montana. Helena High product by way of Montana State, that's number 22, Camden Hilborn. Also at guard, a 5'9" senior out of 9 Mile Falls, Washington, number 23, Sienna Swanek. And in the middle, a 6'2" junior out of Clancy, Montana, Helena High product by way of the University of Montana, that's number 42, Jamie Pickens. Leading the way for the Saints, their head coach, Rochelle Sayers, in her 11th season, the all-time winningest coach in Carroll College women's basketball history. And she's having a nice season they're putting together, like we said, in the dumps a little bit last week, but they pulled it back together, got a big win last weekend, and they're ready to build off that.
It's a long season. Yeah, it is. And
the conference schedule's tough, man.
Oh, boy, it is. Yeah, and they're, Rocky and Providence are good. It's not like Carroll lost to two teams that aren't deserving. They're good teams, really good.
And the RPI came out this week for the NAIA. I'm not sure the algorithm, but number 4, Carroll. Number 5, Rocky. Number 6, Providence in the national RPI.
Wow.
So shows you what kind of league we're playing in. And
yeah,
we got another tough team at the PE Center once again tonight in Montana Western as we get ready for tip-off here. Both teams getting ready to take the floor. And it's nice to be at home. Two road games on the schedule last week, but now we're home tonight. We're on the road again Saturday, but it's good to be back here for one at least.
Yeah, it is. And we have the students back, and they'll start piling in here. School opened up at Carroll, Tuesday was the first day of school for second semester. So the kids can get into that academic groove, which they like. They do. They might not say they do, but they do. And it's just more comfortable to have their friends here, and they have the food service.
Yes, no kidding.
Yeah.
Well, both teams on the floor now. Montana Western donning their red road uniforms, black and white trim on those black numbers. Carroll in their new home white uniforms, purple numbers, purple trim on the white lettering on the front there with the ever-so-famous Jordan Jumpman as Jamie Pickens and Mesa King line up in the center circle. Tip-off is pulled down by Christine Denny here on the near side of the court. Carroll will go right to left across your radio dial to start things off. Camden Hilborn in the half court setting up the offense. Goes near side Denny, now Swanek. Looking for the corner, and there's Shani Mack getting a hand on it and knocking it out of bounds. Carroll will keep it an inbound from the near corner. Sienna Swanek to inbound. Swanek gets it into Denny. Now up top it's Danny Wagner. Swanek once again with it. Hilborn near side. To Jamie Pickens there in the corner. Finds a cutter. Swanek from the elbow. It's good. Sienna Swanek gets the Saints started 2-0. They lead 9.5 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Sydney Sheridan taking it up the court for the Bulldogs up top. She's got it now. Passes it far side. Weber looking down low to Fitzgerald. Hilborn knocks it loose, and it's stolen away by Sienna Swanek. Swanek pushing the tempo in transition. Hilborn for 3. Off the back iron, no good. Long rebound brought down, though, by Danny Wagner. Saints will get a fresh start on this possession. Hilborn goes over to Swanek, far side. Now Wagner, corner 3 from Wagner, and she buries it. Danny Wagner from deep, 5-0. Carroll leads on the Mike Miller State Farm Insurance scoreboard just 1 minute into this ball game. Sydney Sheridan once again setting up the offense. Looking for Weber. She gets it to her. Weber drives the lane, kicks to the corner. Now back up top, Fitzgerald drives on Denny. Helping off is Jamie Pickens. She gets a hand on it, pulls down the rebound, and gets it over to Hilborn. Hilborn. Swanek back to Hilborn up top. Now Sienna with it again on the near side, on the wing. Back up top, Camden Hilborn. Saints looking for where they can attack. Hilborn goes to the corner. Swanek open three. Off the rim, it's no good. Another offensive rebound by Danny Wagner. Outside Hilborn, now Wagner again. Hilborn to Swanek. Swanek thinks about the three instead. She passes it back to Hilborn. Camden in the lane, out to Wagner. Wagner in the corner, drives, goes up with her left, blocked by Mesa King. Loose ball rebounded by Jenny Weber, and Montana Western will get it once again. 8 minutes left in the first quarter. Carroll still leads 5-0. Sheridan to Shani Mack. Mack drives lane, goes behind the back over Swanek. Shot no good, blocked by Sienna. Rebound pulled down by Jamie Pickens. Pickens passes it out to Hilborn. Hilborn down low. Denny, easy lay-in off the glass and good. It's a 7-0 run to start the ball game for the Saints. 7:47 left in the first quarter. Timeout is called by Coach Lindsay Woolley. 30-second timeout, Gary, so we'll keep it here. And, wow.
Well,
what a start.
Western's in their 1-1-3 zone right now, trying to match up out at Carroll and giving up a three to Danny Wagner, wide open in the corner. You can't do that. And then giving up 2 offensive rebounds. And that is one of the weaknesses, I think, that most coaches will tell you of a zone is it is hard to box out.
Yeah, well, if you're not manned up, it's not body on body.
It's hard to box out. Yeah, it is. And a couple of long rebounds, and Carroll jumping off to a quick start.
We were looking for the fast start. 7-0 run is one way to do it.
Well, it is. And Western in their dribble drive were able to get to the rim twice, but unable to come away with anything.
It'll be Western ball out of the timeout, 7-0. Carroll in the lead on the Mike Miller State Farm Insurance scoreboard. Before we get back to action, Carroll Basketball on Rewind 94.9 is brought to you in part by John Lagerquist at Century 21 Heritage Realty. For all your real estate needs from homes, land, or commercial, contact John Lagerquist, one of Helena's leading realtors, and the Overland Express restaurant, serving Helena since 1975. Overland is Helena's family restaurant that features their famous dragon wings. Try them, you'll like them. Overland Express. Also, don't forget, folks, throughout tonight's game to listen for our St. Peter's Health Gold Standard Player of the Game. 7-0, both teams taking the floor back once again. Montana Western will go left to right. Inbounding is Shani Mack. Sydney Sheridan will push it up the court for the Bulldogs. Sheridan picked up in the half court by Hilborn. She goes to her right, drives lane, kicks. Mesa King outside, hands it back to Sheridan. Sheridan picks up a screen. Passes to the corner. It's Mack. Now Weber. Weber guarded by Wagner up top. Passes it back to Mack. Mack shaded to the left side. Goes to her right. Guarded by Swanek. Picks it up at the elbow and goes out to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald's been switched on to Hilborn. Hilborn guarding her. 2 seconds on the shot clock. Deep runner from Fitzgerald. No good. Hilborn pulls down the rebound. Hilborn will bounce it right away and get it to Swanek. Swanek in transition goes to Wagner. Now Hilborn again. Saints will get into their offense. Wagner to Hilborn once more. Call for some motion. Wagner again. Looking down low. Fitzgerald gets a hand on it, but Christine Denny comes up with the loose ball floater from Denny. No good. Loose ball knocked out of bounds. Last touch by the Saints. Montana Western will get it back. And there's that zone working how it's supposed to, Gary.
Yeah, it's, and that's why Coach Lindsay Woolley called timeout. Get that zone shifting how he wants it. Looked a lot better that time.
Jenny Weber on the wing, far side. Guarded by Wagner. Off the bounce, pull-up jumper from the elbow, no good, but she's fouled, so Jenny will go to the line for 2 shots.
Yeah, and she got her just a little bit, just enough on the elbow.
It's on Danny Wagner. Jenny will shoot 2, and as she goes to the line, Gary, we should mention we got a couple of representatives from the Carroll Student Athlete Advisory Committee walking around right now. Weber's first free throw is good. Collecting money for a Carroll student, Trisha McCullough, who was in a tough car accident over Christmas break, and they're raising money to go towards her medical expenses. Just a really brutal incident, and sounds like she's down in Colorado getting treatment right now.
Well, we wish her well. I know she was much loved up here at Carroll. Heard nothing but good things about her.
Mm-hmm. Weber makes both free throws. Western's down 7-2 now early on in the first quarter. Sienna Swanek goes to Wagner on the far side. In the corner, it's Pickens. To the elbow, Christine Denny. Here's the drive. Swanek, step back from the elbow. It's good. Sienna Swanek knocks down the 2. 9-2. Carroll leads by 7. 6:08 left in the first quarter. Jenny Weber hands it off to Mack. Mack guarded by Swanek. Takes it inside. Looking for a cutter. Instead passes it outside to Sheridan. Sheridan crosses over. Pick and roll goes to King. King off the glass. It's good.
Nice pick and roll by Western that time. Well done. perfect little drop down pass. It's a little pocket pass. Hard to make that pass.
Jamie Pickens in the corner has the ball. She's going to take a dribble, pass it up to Swanek. Down low, Pickens gets it from Hilborn. Now Swanek cutting, gets it, and she's fouled as she enters the lane. That'll be on the floor. Foul on Sheridan, just her first.
Carroll's using Jamie against his zone kind of in the short corner, the kind of by the baseline, and then looking for cutters when she gets a catch. She's such a good passer.
Swanek looking down low, gets it to Pickens. Pickens throws it right over here. So it's going to go out of bounds. I think she thought she had someone coming around the top there to the wing, and there was nobody there. So.
I don't think she should have inbounded it to her. She didn't have much of an advantage down there.
9-4. Carroll in the lead. Western with the ball, looking to continue to close that gap. Brindley Fitzgerald picks up a screen, drives the lane, up with her right, off the glass. It's good. Brindley Fitzgerald for two. That'll get her going.
Yeah.
9-6. Carroll leads by 3. Christine Denny to the near side. Swanek now across the court. Camden Hilborn finds Denny in the lane. She kicks out. Swanek pump fakes from the top, instead passes it over to Hilborn. Hilborn over to the corner. Wagner has it. Wagner drives and kicks. 10 seconds on the shot clock for Carroll. Christine Denny to her left, kicks it out. Swanek pump fakes, steps into the lane, picks up a help defender. Wagner out to Hilborn. She's got to take it from 3. It's no good. Loose ball pulled down by Brindley Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald taking it up court, pushing the tempo. She passed it up top to Weber. Weber over to the far side. Sheridan picks up a screen. Mesa King on the pick and roll again. This time a reverse layup as Pickens was waiting for her.
Well, that's 3
side.
buckets in a row that Western was off the screen roll that has hurt Carroll.
9-8. Carroll leads by 1. 4:22 left in the first quarter. Christine Denny's pass deflected by Sydney Sheridan out of bounds. Some substitutions. Lily Gopher back in the game for Montana Western. Addie Ekstrom and Maddie Garrett's in the game for Carroll. Hilborn setting up the offense, passes to Denny. Now Ekstrom has it. Ekstrom to the far side. Christine drives, kicks. Ekstrom for 3 off the rim, no good. Offensive rebound by Ekstrom. She goes to her left, scoop shot, no good. Another offensive rebound by Christine Denny, but she stepped out of bounds, and Carroll will lose that possession. It'll go right back to the Bulldogs.
Well, the Western's going to go right back to the screen roll here. They've got 3 buckets off it. And interesting to see if Carroll tries to change up how they're guarding it.
Far side, Sydney Sheridan. She passes off to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald calls for the screen, gets it from Gopher. Now cross-court pass, she gets it to Sheridan in the near corner. Sheridan drives to her left, off the glass, and good. Nice move to the hoop that time by Sydney Sheridan. And just like that, the Bulldogs have taken their first lead, a 10-2 run. 10-9 the score, 3.5 minutes on the first, or left in the first quarter. Hilborn to the elbow. Denny goes back to the corner. 3 up on the way from Wagner. She buries it. The Saints go down, and who better to answer but Danny Wagner, 12-10. Carroll takes it back.
And a nice pass by Christine Denny. A good find down in the corner.
3:12 left in the first quarter. Loose ball deflected out of bounds off Carroll. Jaden Lyman will enter the game. Camden Hilborn will get a rest. Shani Mack inbounds from the far sideline, near sideline, excuse me. Sheridan to Gopher on the block, to the corner. 3-pointer on the way from Mack. That one's short. Loose ball rebounded by Jenny Weber off the deflection from Fitzgerald. Out of bounds, but it hits off Jaden Lyman, whose foot was on the baseline there, so Western will keep it.
Daniel, that time Carroll trapped the screen roll. We'll see if they're going to do that more. That was more effective than what they were trying to do before.
Inbounding is Shani Mack from the baseline. Mack gets it to Gopher. Low post. Now out to Mack again. Down low, Gopher. 4 seconds on the shot clock. Gopher goes to work against Garrett's to her left off the glass. Nice finish by Lily Gopher.
Well, she's very skilled. Very skilled player.
12-12. It's a tie ball game. 2:40 to go in the first. Lyman goes to Ekstrom. Now Wagner. Ekstrom again. Passed it off to Lyman. Danny Wagner up top. Goes to the corner. Ekstrom for 3 off the rim. It's no good. Loose ball pulled down by Montana Western. Sydney Sheridan comes up with the board. Sheridan, near side for Fitzgerald. Loose ball knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Christine Denny. Western will keep it.
Western's buckets are coming in the paint. You know, post moves, screen roll. Carroll's playing man-to-man, and Western's zone right now is forcing Carroll to take perimeter shots. And I think Carroll needs to go inside against that zone a little bit if they can.
Jonelle Momberg checks into the game for Western. Sydney Sheridan takes it out, gives it over to Brindley Fitzgerald up top. Sheridan again, guarded by Garrett. Takes her to the hoop. Nice defense on the drive, but Sheridan does a nice job fading back off the contact and knocking it in for two.
That's a lot of contact she finished through. Well done.
14-12, Western has the lead once again. 1:53 to go in the first quarter. Ekstrom to the near side, Lyman. Back up top, Addie Ekstrom again. Goes to Wagner. Wagner up top. Goes to Ekstrom again. Now Jaden Lyman in the corner has it. Ekstrom. Wagner once more guarded by Momberg. She passed it to Denny. Denny pump fakes from the elbow, but there's a little skip hop there and a traveling violation called. Weber inbounds from the far sideline. Western has the ball back. 14-12, Bulldogs looking to build on a 2-point lead. Sheridan goes to Fitzgerald. Looking for a cutter, it's Gopher, and that one's good for Gopher. Nice offense there by Montana Western as they lead by 4. Lyman goes near side with Ekstrom. They swing it back around. Danny Wagner to Christine Denny. Now Garrett's with it. Garrett's turnaround quick jumper. No good. That one goes long. Rebound pulled down by Brindley Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald off the dribble. Steps back. Goes to Momberg. Momberg crosses over to her left. Drives the lane, puts it up, no good. She gets her own rebound, though, and kicks it out to Sheridan. Three-pointer on the way for Fitzgerald from Sheridan. She knocks it in, and just like that, Montana Western leads by 7, 19-12. 38 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Jade Lyman to Ekstrom. Back up top, Lyman. Now Wagner, far side on the wing. To the high post, Christine Denny. 15 on the shot clock, 22 on the game clock here in the first. Wagner crosses over, nice move to her right, floater off the glass, foul called, offensive foul. It's a charge on Christine Denny.
I think that was on Danny.
Yes. Some substitutions in the game. Mesa King, Shani Mack back in for Montana Western. Jamie Pickens, Emma Madsen in the game for Carroll, as well as Sienna Swanek. 16 seconds left in the first quarter. Western leads by 7. I think they'll play for a last shot here. Sheridan, guarded by Lyman. Picks up a screen from Weber, works to her left. 5 seconds now on the clock for Western. Now 3. Weber picks up a screen. Deep 3 from Weber at the horn. It's no good off the front of the rim, and that'll do it after 1 quarter of play on the Mike Miller State Farm Insurance scoreboard. Montana Western leads Carroll 19-12. We'll go ahead and take a timeout. You're listening to Carroll Basketball on Rewind 94.9 and KCAP.com. Back from the timeout, Daniel Sally and Gary Turcotte here in the Brad Schmidt All-State Insurance broadcast booth, bringing you Game 1 of tonight's Frontier Conference doubleheader between Carroll College and Montana Western. And right now on the Mike Miller State Farm Insurance scoreboard, it reads Montana Western 19, Carroll College 12. second quarter. Fresh start on the way for the Saints. Montana Western, however, will start with possession. Sydney Sheridan in the half court. Far side, gets it to Mack. Mack, and there's another screen and roll, gets it to King. King looking for Momberg, and stepping into the lane is Ekstrom. Ekstrom in transition, goes up with it off the glass, and she finishes it.
That time Carroll trapped the on ball, caused a turnover.
Excellent anticipation by Ekstrom there, and really good persistence in transition to get that one. 19-14. Carroll trails by 5. Mesa King down low, and there's another loose ball forced by Jamie Pickens. The ball's going to go out of bounds. Last touch by Carroll. Western will inbound from the baseline.
And Carroll trapped the on ball again and almost caused a turnover.
So there's an adjustment there going into the second quarter.
Yeah.
Brinley Fitzgerald will check back in and give Jenny Weber a rest. Shani Mack inbounding from the baseline. Mack gets it to King. King passes it back outside. Sheridan, 7 seconds left on the shot clock for Western. Sheridan guarded by Lyman tightly. Works to her left, loses it. Ball's on the ground. Sienna Swanek comes up with it, and now Mesa King's got a hand on it, and they're going to call a jump ball, which means they're going to have to reset that shot clock, I think, unless did Carroll get possession? Oh, we got the arrow. Whatever. Well, Carroll was about to force a turnover, and now they're going to lose the arrow from the jump ball.
Yeah, I was going to see, it'd be nice if, did Carroll have the arrow before that, or did Western?
We have the arrow.
They're calling a shot clock violation.
So we keep the arrow.
Yeah.
Tremendous news.
No, we lost the arrow.
We still got it.
We do. You're right.
We still got it.
We do. Yeah. I thought that might be one of those win-lose deals.
No, we've had, it almost was. Yeah. We've had a couple of those in our last 2 or 3 games. But not this time, Gary. Not this time. Sienna Swanek on the other end pulls up from the elbow. Another jumper on the way from Sienna, and she buries it 19-16. Western's lead cut down to 3. 8:52 left in the second quarter. Sheridan in the half court. Sheridan passes it to Fitzgerald. Now to the corner. Mack has it. Mack drives baseline on Madsen. She's denied. Finds a cutter. It's Fitzgerald. Nice spin move, and nice job staying with it by Fitzgerald. She draws a foul. She goes up for a fadeaway there.
Sienna didn't think she fouled her. And Sienna is not one that normally complains, but she didn't think she fouled her. So that makes me think. Makes me wonder. From where we're sitting, we couldn't tell.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fitzgerald steps up to the line. Carroll Basketball and Rewind 94.9 is brought to you by Range 406. Helena's indoor shooting range with 8 shooting lanes and air-conditioned comfort. Range 406 also has a great supply of hunting ammo along with an excellent selection of pistols and rifles. First free throw is good from Fitzgerald, and her second one now rolls in. Western goes up by 5, 21-16 on the Mike Miller State Farm Insurance scoreboard. 8:37 to go in the second quarter. Lyman to the near side, picks up a high ball screen from Pickens. Now Ekstrom. Ekstrom gets a screen from Madsen, goes behind the back and works back to the top, guarded very tightly by Shani Mack, picks up her dribble. Ekstrom gets it to Madsen, 12 seconds on the shot clock for Carroll. Lyman, screen from Pickens, rips it out to Swanek. Swanek, step back jumper in the lane, and that one's no good off the front of the rim. Rebound brought down by Sheridan. I'm used to her making those, Gary.
Yeah.
Sheridan out to Fitzgerald. Now Mack. Mack guarded by Ekstrom. Goes to her left, shot up, and she draws the contact that time. Foul called on Ekstrom. That'll be her first. 7:58 left in the second quarter. Shani Mack will shoot 2.
Well, you can see the method to Coach Woolley's madness. I mean, he is a very, very good coach. So he's going to play zone at his end. He's going to match up like crazy. He's going to do a great job of adjusting to what you do, and he's going to make you take perimeter shots. Okay, and then at the other end, he's going to run. If you play man-to-man against him, he's going to run dribble drive and attack. And so far it's working.
Both free throws no good for Shani Mack. Loose ball pulled down by Emma Madsen, and she gets it to Pickens. Pickens hands off to Lyman. Lyman. Madsen up top, now Ekstrom near side. Swanek up top. Lyman to Madsen. Now Swanek with it. Swanek drives with her left, goes up, floater with the right hand, no good. Rebound brought down by Brinley Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald in transition, Takes a hard dribble into the lane, kicks it out, three-pointer from Mack from the corner, no good. Nice rebound by Jaden Lyman, and Lyman is off to the races. Lyman to Swanek. Now over to Ekstrom. Ekstrom pass to Madsen, they'll get it to Pickens. Pickens, elbow jumper, she knocks it down.
That's the first shot she's taken, and that is not good. Carroll's got to get her involved.
Hopefully that'll be the start right there.
Yep.
21-8. Oh,
Western's actually playing man-to-man right now, surprisingly.
21-18, they lead, Western that is. Lily Gopher on the low block, gets it to Fitzgerald, corner three. Nice contest by Madsen. Rebound brought down by Pickens. Pickens has the ball knocked loose by Gopher, but she comes back up with it. 6:43 left in the second quarter. Carroll trails by 3. Chance to cut it to 1 with a 2 here, tie it with a 3. Ekstrom goes to Swanek. Now Lyman in the corner. Lyman takes the corner 3 off the rim, no good. Rebound pulled down by Momberg. Momberg guarded by Ekstrom, drives to the hoop. Nice defense by Addy that time, but Momberg finishes.
Boy, they finished through contact. Those are tough shots, Daniel. That's with their left hand with contact and a hand in her face.
5-point Bulldog lead, 23-18 on the Mike Miller State Farm Insurance scoreboard. 6:06 to play in the second. Swanek crosses over, passes over to Ekstrom. Ekstrom to the top, it's Lyman. Now Swanek. Swanek takes the 3. That time it's good.
Big 3.
Sienna Swanek, nothing but net. 23-21. Bulldogs lead cut back to 2. Gopher to the corner. Mack goes up top to Fitzgerald. Now Momberg. She takes a 3 over Swanek. It's no good off the rim. Rebound pulled down by Pickens.
You know, Momberg can shoot, and she's not afraid to shoot.
No, she can just score. Driving kick, Lyman to Swanek. Another 3, it's good!
Well done by Jaden Lyman. Very well done.
Forcing the issue.
Yep.
Forcing the issue. And when you need someone to step up, all year it's been Sienna Swanek, and tonight once again it's Sienna Swanek putting on a clinic here in the first half. She gives the Saints the lead 24-23, 5:08 to go in the second. Momberg out to Gopher. Gopher takes a 3 over Pickens, long off the glass, rebound by Swanek, and she's fouled quickly by Shani Mack. We got a media timeout called. 5 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Carroll leads 24-23 on the Mike Miller State Farm Insurance scoreboard. We'll take a break. You're listening to Fighting Saints Basketball on Rewind 94.9 and KCAP.com. Back from the break, Daniel Sally and Gary Turcotte here inside the Brad Schmidt Allstate Insurance broadcast booth, bringing you game 1 of tonight's Frontier Conference doubleheader between Carroll and Western. 24-23, the Saints in the lead now on the Mike Miller State Farm Insurance scoreboard off of 12 points so far for Sienna Swanek, including that big 3 to give them the lead right there, Gary.
Great first half by Sienna, and we'll see if Western now stays. They are going to stay man-to-man.
Camden Hilborn across the timeline, works to the far side, passed it over to Christine Denny up top. Denny goes to the elbow. Pickens back to Denny. Denny on the wing, picks up a screen. Pick and roll there, back to Pickens. She goes up with it, and it's blocked and taken away by Natalie Denning, but she steps on the line, and Carroll will keep it.
Nice help side defense there by Denning.
13 seconds on the shot clock. They're going to say Western did not get possession back. Swanek from the baseline finds Denny for a little quick one off the glass, no good. Loose ball out of bounds, that should be off Western, it is, and Carroll will keep it with a fresh 20 seconds on the shot clock. Swanek inbounds. Up top, she gets it to Christine Denny. Denny passes it off to Addie Ekstrom. Now Christine with it again to Pickens. Pickens guarded by King, takes a dribble, double team. Now she fades away from the elbow. A little line drive, that time off the rim, no good. Rebound by Sydney Sheridan. Sheridan hands off to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald goes to the high post. With it is King. King lobs it back out to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald on the bounce. Takes it in, kicks it out. Three-pointer from the corner. It's Denning, and it's good.
Nice pass by Fitzgerald. Created that contact, created that open shot.
26-24. Western leads by 2. Pickens has it on the other end for Carroll. She hands off Swanek. Swanek drives with her left, kicks it out. Three-pointer from the corner. Ekstrom, it's good. Addie Ekstrom, the sensational freshman for the Saints, knocks it down and gives her team the lead back, 27-26.
And Sienna with the three-point assist, Daniel. Very nice.
3:33 to go in the second quarter. There's another pick and roll. This time it's King and waiting for who else but Camden Hilborn to take the charge.
Well, and that's they're trapping that on ball, and then the post rolls to the basket, and she is open, and you're depending on your help side defense to bail you out. And that time Camden was right place, right time, took the charge.
27-26, Carroll in the driver's seat here. 3:23 left in the second quarter. Jamie Pickens gets a touch up top, then loses it out of bounds. The ball went low. She kind of got knocked loose, and she tried to pick it back up, and a couple hands were around there, and she ended up just flinging it out of bounds. Maddie Garrett's back in the game for Carroll. Western will inbound from the far side. 3:18 to go in the second quarter. 27-26, Carroll leads. Sheridan picks up the screen from Fitzgerald, and that's a carry.
Yep.
Just took one bounce a little too heavy, got a hand under it. Understandable.
It's not called very often. They almost never call that anymore, but it happened.
3 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Maddie Garrett's to the elbow. Denny pulls it back outside. Now Garrett's again on the wing. Up top, Ekstrom passes it back to Swanek. Now Denny drives the lane, off the glass, it's good. Christine Denny going to the hole. And Sienna Swanek said, hey, you got a lane, go. She gave her a little tap on the back when she went by her. Sheridan to Denning. Denning to the corner. King has it back up top. They swing it around back to Sheridan. 29-26, Carroll in the lead. 2.5 minutes left in the first half. Sheridan to Denning again. Denning to the corner. Weber. Now Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald pump fakes. Gets Christine in the air. Drives the lane. Shot up is no good, but a foul called on Carroll.
Nice take by Fitzgerald. Real good shot fake. Bounce. Fitzgerald, when it comes down to it, Daniel, she's their money player.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And Sienna's coming out now. I think that's the first time Sienna's been out. What a great first half she's had.
She's got 2 fouls now, so
yeah.
Going to rest her for a little bit as Fitzgerald goes to the line. She puts up her first free throw and makes it. Before she takes her second, Carroll Basketball on Rewind 94.9 is brought to you by Cap Paving since 1984, paving the way to excellence, and Ruckers Furniture. Make the quality choice for your home at Ruckers Furniture. Second free throw is no good from Fitzgerald, and that'll leave the Carroll lead at 2, 29-27. 2:12 left in the first half. Christine Denny crosses over to her left, kicks it out to Ekstrom. Ekstrom out to Garrett. Now Christine Denny has it. Denny drives to her right side, kicks it out to Hilborn. Jaden Lyman on the left wing, picks up a screen from Hilborn. Lyman drives the lane, throws one up off the glass with 3 seconds on the shot clock. It's no good. Rebound pulled down by Western. It's Natalie Denning coming up with it, and Christine Denny gets called for a quick foul.
That's 14 fouls on Carroll, so next foul, Western will be in the bonus.
Natalie Denning, not a name I had circled tonight, but she's made a difference coming off the bench.
She's
doing a lot of different things. Sydney Sheridan, far side, guarded by Ekstrom. Up top now, passes it off to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald takes a 3 off the rim. Oh, and she gets the roll.
Oh, that's the soft rims at Carroll. That was way short.
They call that a shooter's bounce.
Yeah.
And Brindley Fitzgerald just happens to be a shooter. Western takes the lead back. It's 30-29, 1:22 left in the first quarter. Hilborn to the elbow. Denny. Now Lyman. And Lyman's fouled. Blocking foul called on Fitzgerald. Lyman tried to get around her and just met a stone wall. Inbounding from the baseline, it's Addie Ekstrom. Ekstrom swings it up top to Camden Hilborn. Hilborn will get him in their offense. Christine Denny takes the handoff. Now Lyman up top, back to Hilborn. Down low, Denny posting up. Dumps it off, a little high-low for Garrett's. Loose ball out of bounds. Maddie wasn't ready for it, and it's last touch by Carroll. A little under a minute to go here in the first half. 30-29, Western in the lead. It's Bulldog basketball as they look to add. Jenny Weber on the wing, passes it up to Sheridan. Sheridan takes the dribble to her left, picked up by Denny, kicks it out to King. King looking for a cutter. Fitzgerald, nice off-ball defense by Ekstrom, and Ekstrom knocks it loose and comes up with a steal. Almost turned it back over to the other team, but Lyman ends up coming up with the loose ball. Now inside, Denny pump fakes up with it, and a foul called. Christine draws the contact and will go to the line for 2 shots.
Nice pass by Camden there, kind of a no-look pass across the zone. You know, Daniel, one of the things that I think I see why Western is playing man-to-man is what we talked about, is because they can box out. When in the zone, Carroll was getting all those second shots. They're not getting them now.
First free throw up and good from Denny. She'll shoot one more. I don't think it's a bad strategy. If
no,
it's going to work for them.
Yeah. And they will foul more, but you don't give up the second shots.
Second free throw, no good. Christine splits the pair. Loose ball, out of bounds. Last touch by Western. That's a nice job by Garrett staying with that one. Inbounding from the baseline, Addie Ekstrom. She gets it up to Denny. Denny swings it over to Lyman. Hilborn gets it back to Lyman. 10 seconds on the shot clock, 20 on the game clock here in the second quarter. Ekstrom, 7 seconds on the shot clock, goes to Lyman, now Hilborn. Hilborn's going to have to make something happen. She drives the lane, dumps it off. Denny off the glass. Oh, no good. Long rebound, and it's pulled down by Mesa King. 7 seconds. King will slow it down and give it to Weber. Weber's got 4 seconds. Hilborn knocks it loose, out of bounds. Last touch by Carroll. And now Western's got 2 seconds. Tie game, 30-30. They got 1 shot. Now Jenny Weber inbound from the baseline. Emma Madsen will check in real quick. Jaden Lyman will check out, get a little extra length out there.
Yeah.
Weber lobs it up to King. King goes up with it at the buzzer, no good. And that'll do it for 1 half of basketball here at the PE Center. Your score on the Mike Miller State Farm Insurance scoreboard. The Montana Western Bulldogs 30 and the Carroll College Fighting Saints 30. We got a tie ball game and an exciting second half ahead. But first, we'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll have the Carroll College halftime show. You're listening to Fighting Saints basketball on Rewind 94.9 and KCAP.com. 30-30, we got a tie ball game here at the half. Carroll and Montana Western locked up in game one of tonight's Frontier Conference doubleheader between the Saints and the Bulldogs. Daniel Sally and Gary Turcotte here inside the Brad Schmidt Allstate Insurance booth, bringing you the Carroll College halftime show. And Gary Turcotte, maybe the best dressed one in here tonight, rocking the cardigan, which we love that. So way to knock the dust off of that one. We're happy to see it.
Been sitting in my closet too long.
Well, I'm glad you pulled it out tonight. Hopefully it'll bring us some good luck in the second half as we get ready to talk about the first half we just saw, Gary. What were some takeaways you had? I know we talked about Western going to the man, getting body-on-body, boxing out, limiting offensive rebounds. I think that was big for them. And it seemed like on the other end they were just driving the lane, taking all kinds of shots in the paint.
Well, yeah, that was a heck of a good half by Western. I mean, the score's 30-30, and I thought Western played about as well as they can play. They started out in the zone, and the trouble with it, Carroll got 4 offensive rebounds right off the bat and looked like they were in control. And then Western switched to the man-to-man, and that really helped them because they quit giving up offensive rebounds. And Carroll wasn't expecting that, I don't think. And it took him a little while to adjust. Okay, they're man now. We got to get back and run our man stuff. And then on the offensive end, I just thought Western made some really tough shots. I mean, the dribble drive offense, you're attacking, but a lot of times you're going to have to make a tough contested shot with contact with your offhand, and they made them with their left hand. They brought kids in off the bench that made shots. Western played well. They're a good ball club. And I don't know how in the world Rocky ever beat them by 40. They must have had some kids out.
Yeah, I think they had a couple people go down during that game.
Because they played Carroll really tough. Carroll's going to need to get Jamie Pickens involved. They're going to need to get the ball inside. Their post players are not touching the ball. And I know Coach Michelle Sayers and JD and Taylor Edwards are talking right now to those girls. We got to get Jamie Pickens. Jamie tore him up the first game, the second half in Dillon, and they're going to need to go inside. I don't think they really have an answer for Jamie if they want to go into it.
Let's go ahead and look at some stats. As a team, Montana Western shooting an even 50%, 8 of 14 in the first quarter, 3 of 8 in the second quarter from the field. From 3, Montana Western just 3 of 9, shooting 33%. And from the free throw line, Western went to the line 6 times in the second quarter, only made 3 of them. They're shooting 62.5% in this ball game so far. Some team numbers for Carroll, they're shooting just 42.9% from the field, 5 of 14 in the first quarter, so a hot start. Then they cooled down a little bit, but got it back going in the second quarter, going 7 of 14, and even 50% in the second quarter. From the three-point line, Carroll shooting a good 45.5%, and from the free throw line, Carroll just 1 of 2. Individual numbers for Montana Western, Brinley Fitzgerald's got 11 on 3 of 7 shooting, 2 of 4 from the 3 and 3 of 4 from the free throw line. She's also got 2 assists and 4 rebounds. Other than that, 4 points for Gopher off the bench, 4 points for Mesa King, 4 points for Sydney Sheridan, 3 for Natalie Denning, 2 for Jonelle Momberg, and 2 for Jenny Weber. For the Saints, their leader right now is Sienna Swanek with a game-high 12 points on 5 of 8 shooting. She's also got 3 assists. 6 points for Danny Wagner, 5 points for Christine Denny, 2 for Jamie Pickens, and 5 off the bench for Addie Ekstrom. You mentioned Jamie Pickens, only 2 shot attempts. She's 1 of 2 from the field in this one.
Right, and Carroll, will need to be conscious of that, and they'll look at those stats and they'll say, okay, let's get Jamie involved. I wouldn't be surprised if the first place Carroll will have the arrow to start the second half. I wouldn't be surprised something right away to go inside to her. If you can, depending on what defense they're in, but they need to get the ball to her. She's not getting enough touches.
We're going to go ahead and take a break. 30-30 is the score on the Mike Miller State Farm Insurance scoreboard. And when we come back, we'll take a look ahead at the second half and get ready for 20 more minutes of basketball here at the PE Center. Game 1 of tonight's Frontier Conference doubleheader between Carroll and Western. You're listening to Fighting Saints Basketball on Rewind 94.9 and KCAP.com. Saints Game Day driven by Placer Motors. This is the Carroll College halftime show. Daniel Sally here and Gary Turcotte coming to you from the Brad Schmidt Allstate Insurance broadcast booth. And through 20 minutes to play here, Gary, we got a dead even ball game at 30-30 on the Mike Miller State Farm Insurance scoreboard. And as we look ahead to the second half, starting with Carroll, what do you think are some adjustments we're going to see besides them going to Jamie Pickens a little more down low?
Carroll would like to do more of what they did the second quarter. It was really a tale of two quarters. Western outscored Carroll 19-12 the first quarter. Carroll outscored Western 18-11 the second quarter. Carroll wants to do more of what they did the second quarter, which was they wanted to trap the on balls. And once they started to do that, they quit getting hurt with the on balls. Now, Coach Woolley, what will he do to address that? And then offensively, Carroll needs to go inside. They need to, depending too much on perimeter shots, they have an advantage inside. They need to use it. And Western, gosh, I don't know if they can play a whole heck of a lot better than they're playing offensively. I was impressed with them. Brindley Fitzgerald had a great half. She played all 20 minutes. She was 2 for 4 from the three. She got to the free throw line. She rebounded. She's just a great player. And Carroll they need to go to her. She's the leader of that bunch by far.
Their money player.
She's their money player. That's the way to put it. Yeah.
And it seems like Carroll, they've gotten a couple chances to run a little bit. When they started trapping those on balls, they got the ball out in transition, had a couple nice finishes. They had one where Jaden drove the lane, dished it out to Sienna, and she knocked down a three. Addie had that nice steal and bucket. It seems like when they're pushing the tempo, it's almost working in their favor.
They do. Carroll loves to play tempo. They love to run. And Western is a pretty good running team, too. I would think Western's going to come out and go back to that press and back to that zone a little bit, see if they can rebound better out of it. Maybe throw in some man-to-man if they can't rebound better, because they played much more effective man-to-man than I expected. And the reason I say that, Daniel, is because we watched them play 5 times last year, and they never played 1 minute of man-to-man in any one of those games. Not 1 minute in 5 games. And here they come out and play the whole first half. They probably played maybe 1/4 of it in man-to-man defense, which really did surprise me, and they were effective in it.
And I wouldn't be surprised if they like that trap where they get you across half court, and they got that little corner there between the sideline and the half court line where they like to get you and force some turnovers out of that. Carroll turned the ball over 6 times in the first half. And they're about, they usually turn it over around 10 to 12 times a game, so they're on a normal pace there. But I think Western's going to want to run that number up.
Oh, they will. They like that press, and they like to, like you say, trap around half court. But they're a better ball club than I expected.
I think the score last week of that Rocky game was very misleading.
I think it was too. I just didn't expect them. It wasn't like Carroll played a bad half. Defensively, Western just executed beautifully. Really beautifully with their man-to-man offense.
And I think I'm sure something Coach Sayers mentioned too. If you're Carroll, don't hang your head over the way you played defense around the rim, because they forced some really tough shots.
And they splashed. But
they fell.
They did fall. Yeah, so, up off the backboard high, contested, left hand, right hand. Didn't make any difference.
Well, we can talk all we want about the first half, but it might as well be a 0-0 start for the second half, tied up at 30 apiece on the Mike Miller State Farm Insurance scoreboard. Real quick before we go to break, the front runner right now for our St. Peter's Gold Standard Health Player of the Game for Carroll, Sienna Swanek, leading the way with 12 points. St. Peter's Health is hiring people just like you. Explore all the open positions at sphealth.org/careers. Clinical and non-clinical jobs are open now, as Gary Turcotte just got drilled by a loose basketball bouncing around the gym. But we're going to take a break. We'll have second half action coming up when we come back. You're home for the Saints. Rewind 94.9 and KCAP.com. Second half action here from the PE Center. Daniel Sally and Gary Turcotte. It'll be Carroll starting the second half with possession. Going left to right across your radio dial. Camden Hilborn will get it to the top and swing it far side, to Christine Denny. Now Danny Wegner has it at the top of the key. 30-30 the score on the Mike Miller State Farm Insurance scoreboard. Loose ball deflected out of bounds by Brinley Fitzgerald. We're coming to you as always from the Brad Schmidt Allstate Insurance broadcast booth. So we got an even ball game here going into the second half. Danny Wagner inbounds it to Jamie Pickens. Now up top to Christine Denny. Denny goes to the corner. 3 on the way from Danny Wagner off the rim. No good. Loose ball, and it's pulled down off the deflection by Shani Mack. Mack gets it up to Sheridan in transition. Hilborn gets a hand on it, but a foul called. They're going to say she made a little wrist contact there. It's just Camden's first foul. Sheridan at the stripe. Free throws up. No good by Sheridan. She'll shoot one more. We haven't really mentioned it, Gary, but another reason this game's probably so close, this is maybe the best rivalry in the whole conference.
Well, it has been. It really has. Carroll Western, there's no question. It has been.
Sheridan misses her second. It's Christine Denny on the other end for the Saints up top. Passes it to Swanek. Now Jamie Pickens, guarded by Mesa King, passed it up top. Hilborn drives, throws up a scoop shot off the glass and good.
And there's a finish in contact, with true contact by Camden Hilborn.
Camden Hilborn with a little dribble drive of her own.
Yeah.
Mack up top to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald guarded by Hilborn, 2 former MSU Bobcat teammates. Fitzgerald goes to Swanek. Looks like Carroll's in the zone.
They are in the zone.
Shani Mack in the corner. Looking down low for King. King pump fakes, gets Denny up in the air. Oh, and a foul.
Well, they called travel.
Called
a travel.
I thought they were going to get a foul.
Yeah, there wasn't any contact.
So traveling violation on Mesa King. I'm proud of myself. We went into his own first possession, and I noticed it. Not first, second possession, I guess. Maybe I missed it on the last one, but still pretty good. Swanek up top. Goes to Christine Denny. Hilborn again looking for Pickens on the low block. Jamie's double team. She passes it back out to Hilborn. Hilborn drives. Deflected out to Denny. Denny gets it to Wagner. Wagner corner 3 on the way. It's deflected out of bounds. And they're going to give the ball to Western.
They corrected it. Yeah,
good call. Carroll touched it after it hit off the backside of the backboard, so that would make sense.
7 seconds.
Swanek inbounding. Low block, it's Pickens, back out to Swanek. Now Wagner, 5 on the shot clock, goes to Hilborn. Hilborn drives, dumps it off. Pickens just a little late, and a shot clock violation.
You know, Jamie needs to be a little bit more aggressive. She's getting touches right now and throwing it out. I'd like to see her be more aggressive with it. I'm not sure they can stop her if she wants to just shoot a turnaround jump shot.
I think Carroll's costed themselves a couple good looks, too, with some high passes to the corner.
Yeah.
Not hitting the shooter's pocket.
Yeah, that's it.
Mack to the corner, goes to Sheridan. Now Fitzgerald. Mack from the top, she puts up a 3, no good. Oh, board, Mesa King blocked by Pickens. Pickens blocks Fitzgerald this time, but a foul called on Jamie. And Brinley Fitzgerald will go to the line and shoot 2.
And 2 fouls on Carroll, which kind of adds up in a quarter.
Yeah, it does. When you're shooting at 5 for the bonus.
Yeah.
First free throw is good from Fitzgerald before she takes her second. Carroll Basketball on Rewind 94.9 is brought to you by Furniture Showroom. Why pay more? Every day is a great day to buy new home furnishings at Furniture Showroom. And First Community Bank, working together for you. Second free throw, no good from Fitzgerald. And the rebound is pulled down by Pickens. Here comes Camden Hilborn. Hilborn up top, setting up the offense. Passes it to the corner. Wagner. Swanek, now Hilborn again. Hilborn crosses over, goes to Pickens, right back out to Denny. Swanek to Wagner. 3-pointer on the way from Hilborn. She buries it. Camden Hilborn from downtown.
Yeah, nice ball movement by Carroll that time against the zone. And Carroll staying in their zone themselves.
Jenny Weber up top, passes it to Sheridan. Weber, 3-pointer. No good. Rebound pulled down by Hilborn. Hilborn pushing the tempo, kicks it out. Quick 3 from Swanek, and she buries it. Rattles right home for 3. 38-31. Carroll leads by 7. 6:59 left in the third quarter. Immediate timeout called on the floor. We'll go ahead and take it as well. You're listening to Fighting Saints Basketball on Rewind 94.9 and KCAP.com. Back from the timeout, Daniel Sally, Gary Turcotte here at the Brad Schmidt Allstate Insurance broadcast booth at the PE Center as we bring you game one of tonight's Frontier Conference doubleheader between Carroll and Western. Your score on the Mike Miller State Farm Insurance scoreboard, 38-31. Carroll in the lead, an 8-1 run to start off the second half. Nicely done those first few minutes. Talk about the first 3 minutes all the time. That was the first 3 minutes.
It was, yep.
Carroll won those minutes. Mack up top, near side Sheridan goes to Weber in the corner. Corner three is blocked. I think Pickens got out on that one. To the other end, Hilborn. Cross half court, goes to Wagner up top. Back to Hilborn. Denny to the corner. Wagner, open look from 3. Oh, off the back iron, no good. Loose ball deflected way long. Camden Hilborn's going to get it in the backcourt. Ball was deflected, so Carroll will not get a backcourt violation that time. Swanek takes the dribble, passes to Denny. Now Hilborn. Camden drives the lane, looks to dump it off to Pickens. Pickens deflects it. Mesa King goes to save it. It's going to stay with Carroll. They'll inbound from the baseline with 3 seconds on the shot clock.
This is almost a box and one. They are following Danny Wagner wherever she goes with a chaser. So he changed his zone a little bit, as Coach Willie will do. And 3 seconds, that isn't much time.
Swanek inbounding from the baseline, throws one up for Wagner. Wagner gets it back. Swanek, quick three from the corner off the rim, no good. Loose ball deflected by Pickens out of bounds.
Pretty good look, though.
Oh, for 3 seconds on the shot clock, that's an excellent look. Western will take back the ball. 6:04 left in the third quarter. Carroll leads by 7.
Ooh.
And a turnover. No. It hit off Christine. I missed that. The ball went by us so quickly. Inbounding is Brindley Fitzgerald near side. She passes it into Sheridan. Sheridan to Mack. Mack up top, back to Fitzgerald. Mack again into the elbow. Sheridan takes a step through, looks for the pass to the low post. King can't get it. It hits off Christine Denny out of bounds. Carroll almost came up with a turnover there, but instead Western will keep it on the baseline.
And Momberg's coming in the ball game, and she likes to shoot the three.
Instant offense,
yes.
Gary. Instant offense. There's a reason she played for the Montana Grizzlies last year. Shani Mack. Inbounding in, and it's stolen by Swanek. She was guarding the inbounder and just got a hand on it and took it. Nice defense there by Sienna. Christine Denny on the other end kicks it out up top. Swanek to Hilborn. Swanek once again. Hilborn up top. Lob pass down low to Pickens. She corrals it out to the corner. Wagner now Hilborn for 3. That one's off the mark. Long rebound deflected out of bounds. Last touch by the Saints. Western will get it on the baseline.
Western is really changing up their defense a lot. It's hard to tell what they're in. All the years I've coached, they're boxing one time, they're man-to-man one time. It's hard to tell. They're doing a very effective job.
Weber. Screen and roll, gets it to King. Now Momberg from the elbow, picked up by Hilborn. Hilborn knocks the ball out, but Mack comes up with it. Mack behind the back in the lane, guarded by Swanek, puts up a little baby hook, turnaround move, and it's good.
Tough shot.
Very.
That's dribble drive stuff right there. Just very well done.
Denny to the far wing. Swanek now back to Denny. Swanek once more. Passes it back to Christine.
Jamie Pickens has got to get open.
Sienna looking down low to Pickens. Right back out. Corner three. Wagner inside out. No good. That one goes a little long, and Fitzgerald comes up with the board. Fitzgerald to the other end. Throws up a layup off the glass and good. That looks like something we'd see on ESPN on a Wednesday night. 38-35, Carroll's lead back to 3. Denny goes to Swanek to the elbow. Pickens turns around, jumper, it's good. Elbow jumper from Jamie Pickens, and she extends the Carroll lead back to 5, 40-35, 3:55 left in the third quarter. Momberg at the elbow. Passes to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald back to the near corner. Shani Mack with the ball, drives the lane, ball knocked loose by Pickens, and Danny Wagner comes up with the steal. Hilborn looking down low, gets it to Denny, and a foul called reaching that time on Mesa King.
There's a lot of holes in that zone, Daniel, if they want to keep going inside. There are a lot of holes.
3:32 left in the third quarter, 40-35. Carroll leads. Media timeout on the floor. We'll go ahead and take it. You're listening to Carroll College Basketball on Rewind 94.9 and KCAP.com. 3:32 to play here in the third quarter, 40-35. Carroll leads Western on the Mike Miller State Farm Insurance scoreboard. Game one of tonight's Frontier Conference doubleheader. Daniel Sally and Gary Turcotte coming to you from the Brad Schmidt Allstate Insurance broadcast booth. Inbounding from the baseline is Swanek. Swanek throws a lob up top to Addie Ekstrom, who just checked back in the game, as well as Jaden Lyman and Maddie Garretts. Garretts gets it at the high post, turns and faces. Out to Ekstrom. Now up top, Swanek. Lyman. Ekstrom back to Denny. Now to the corner. Swanek driving in, 2 seconds on the shot clock. Fadeaway as it expires. And
is that a tough shot
home.
or what?
Woo.
That's just beautiful. And there was 2 seconds on the shot clock. That was a tough shot.
42-35. Carroll leads by 7. How about that? Sydney Sheridan to the elbow. It's Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald steps through, goes up with the right. Lyman gets her hand on the ball. She's called for a foul, and I don't think she likes that one. Did they call it on the shot? They did. All right, 2 shots on the way from Brindley Fitzgerald before she takes her first. Carroll Basketball on Rewind 94.9 is brought to you in part by Play It Again Sports, your ski and snowboard rental headquarters. Fitzgerald knocks down her first. Also, Subaru Placer Motors, your hometown Subaru dealer, serving Helena for over 80 years, west on Euclid. Free throw good from Fitzgerald. She hits them both.
Boy, she's a good free throw shooter. We've seen it before.
Lily Gopher checks in. Checking out, Mesa King. Now Western's going to bring a little pressure, Gary.
Yeah.
Denny
this is when they like to bring it.
Gets it to Lyman, now Ekstrom across half court. Now they'll fall back into their zone. Ekstrom up top, goes to Swanek. Swanek to Lyman again, near side, to the corner. Ekstrom to the corner again. Swanek for 3 off the back iron, no good. Ekstrom tips it back, and an over-the-back foul called. Did they get Addie for that one?
Yeah, so that will be a shooting foul. Oh, that's the fourth
No,
foul?
no.
Fourth foul.
Fourth foul.
Fourth foul.
We're very close, though.
Yeah.
Western's done a very nice job of not fouling this half. Just one on them. 2:23 to go in the third quarter. Carroll leads 42-37. Sydney Sheridan, guarded by Lyman. Picks up her dribble up top. Now gets it to go for back to Sheridan. Sheridan, guarded by Lyman. Now Weber to the elbow. Fitzgerald off the drive, and that's an offensive foul that just got missed there, I think.
No call.
Either way.
Nothing.
Denny just smacked the floor, man. That's a bummer. Well, a bucket for Fitzgerald, 42-39, a minute 50 to go in the third quarter. Christine Tenney to Swanek, now Ekstrom. Near side. Lyman, pull-up jumper from the elbow. She buries it. Nice jumper that time from Lyman. That middle game's really come along for Jaden.
Yeah, that was a big hoop by Jaden right there. That'll help her.
44-39, Carroll leads by 5. Lily Gopher at the elbow. Dribbles to her left. Picks up her dribble, kicks it out to Fitzgerald. Now Momberg into the lane, loose ball. Throws it out. Sheridan can't come up with it. Lyman gets it.
Good hustle, Jaden Lyman.
That's what Jaden does. He hustles. 1:05 to go in the third quarter. Carroll leads by 5, looking to add. Lyman. Up top, Sienna Swanek. Crosses over and pulls it back out. 12 seconds on the shot clock for the Saints. 52 on the game clock in the third. Christine Denny hands back to Lyman. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Swanek. Three-pointer for Swanek. It's good!
Well, she's got Momberg on her, and she knows she can't guard her. She can just take whatever she wants and take her time.
When Sienna's playing like this, I don't know many people who can guard her.
Yeah.
30 seconds left in the quarter. Brindley Fitzgerald drives, puts up a jumper from mid-range, no good. Rebounded by Swanek. Carroll leads 47-39. 23 seconds left in the third. Carroll will play for last shot. Lyman, guarded by Sheridan, gets her on the crossover. Clock at 13 seconds now, and an offensive foul called that time. Sheridan was just baiting it the whole time. 11 seconds left. Now Western will have a chance to play for that last shot. Jamie Pickens checks in. Maddie Garretts will get a break. Rochelle's saying, how come we didn't get one on the other end?
Yeah, and I didn't get a good look at that one, Daniel. You had a better look than I did. Was that a good call? I couldn't see it.
I don't know if it was the right call, but
yeah.
It should have been a block, if not a charge. Hard hedge on the screen, and there's an offensive foul that time. They got Gopher, I think, for a moving screen there. She tried to set a little flare screen and cut right to the hoop. Little contact. 4.7 seconds left.
Well, both coaches are not very happy right now.
No, not in the slightest.
4.7 seconds.
Christine Denny will inbound, and Addie Ekstrom's in the backcourt waiting for it. Denny gets it to Addie. Ekstrom with 3 seconds left. Loses it at half court. Can't get up a deep three until way after the buzzer.
Addie looked like a freshman there. Addie should have thrown it right to Christine. Christine was wide open.
47-39 on the Mike Miller State Farm Insurance scoreboard. Carroll leads by 8. We'll have fourth quarter action coming up next here on Rewind 94.9 and KCAP.com. 47-39. Carroll leads by 8 on the Mike Miller State Farm Insurance scoreboard. 1 quarter left to play here at the PE Center. If there's anything we know about Montana Western women's basketball, it's that this game is far from over. Daniel Sally, Gary Turcotte here inside the Brad Schmidt Allstate Insurance broadcast booth, and it's Bulldog basketball going right to left across the timeline to start out the final period. Shani Mack gets it to Gopher up high. Now Weber across to the wing, Fitzgerald. To the corner again, it's Denning who just checked in. We didn't see her in the third quarter. She dumps it to Gopher. Gopher pump fakes, gets a defender in the air, and finishes for 2. 47-41. Carroll leads by 6. Lyman to Denny up top to the far wing. Sienna Swanek. To the corner, Wagner. Denny again. Wagner goes down low. Jamie Pickens. Right back out to Wagner. Wagner drives, goes up with her left, off the glass, and it's good for 2. Danny Wagner off the bounce, finishes it.
Very nicely done, Danny, and the coach has really been working with her on that. That just makes her such a complete player when she can do that.
Brinley Fitzgerald on the far side goes to the elbow. Gopher to Mack, 3-pointer from Mack on the way, it's good. Shani Mack cuts it to a 5-point Saints lead, 49-44, 8:55 left in the fourth. And it seemed like, Gary, that last possession, Jamie got it, turned her head, felt the pressure, then put it right back outside. Swanek up top. Goes to Wagner, now to the corner. Denny. Up top, Lyman makes a defender miss. Pull-up jumper from the elbow, and she gets the roll. Jade Lyman just stopped on a dime there. Excellent shot making. 51-44. Carroll lead back to 7. Lily Gopher in the lane, goes up with it, pick and roll that time once again off the glass, and Western gets a quick 2. Lyman, cross court, beats the press, gets it to Swanek. Christine Denny up top. Near side, Danny Wagner. Up top, Swanek. Swanek to Pickens. Pickens, turn and face. Now she'll back down Gopher, turn around, step through, and draw a foul. Blocking foul on Gopher that time. Camden Hilborn will check in.
Nice job, Jaden Lyman. Very good job.
Yeah, she'll go to the bench, and she just gave us some great minutes.
Both ends, you bet. First team foul on Western, none on Carroll.
Keep an eye on that.
Yep.
First free throw up from Pickens is good. 52-46 is a 6-point Carroll lead, 7:55 to go in the fourth. Another one coming from Jamie. It's good. But Pickens hits them both. There she is, forcing the issue a little bit, getting some contact and going to the line that time. 7:50 to go in the ball game. Jenny Weber, near side, passes up top to Denning. Denning hands off to Mack. Mack switch right on to Swanek. Down low, looking for Gopher. Pickens tries to get in and get a hand on it. But a foul called on Jamie Pickens, little reach that time, going for the loose ball. Carroll's first foul of the quarter. Jamie's second foul of the game. Bulldogs get it inbounds. In the corner, it's Mack. Mack up top, Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald drives, steps through, kicks, 3-pointer from Denning. In the corner, it's good.
God, that's a great play by Fitzgerald. That's a big-time play.
She loves that step-through move, and you're used to her shooting off
and
of
a great
it.
find.
Excellent find. Wagner in the corner, up to Hilborn. Hilborn down low, Pickens on Denning, kicks it out. 3-pointer from Denny, off the rim, no good. Rebound brought down by Lily Gopher. Western with the ball, they trail by 4. 53-49 the score. 7 minutes to play here. Carroll in the lead. Gopher on the other end. Pickens knocks it loose, and it's stolen away by Danny Wagner. Great defense there by Jamie. Here comes the Saints. Camden Hilborn to Christine Denny. Short corner, gets it out to Wagner. Back to Christine again on the wing. Now up top, Swanek. Pump fakes, drives the lane. Floater from Swanek, and it's good. Roll off the back iron, kiss off the glass, and down for 2.
Tough shot. Those floaters are tough shots.
Sienna's got it down to a science.
Yeah.
No surprise there. Shani Mack to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald guarded by Denny. Fitzgerald to the right side, drives, goes up with it, and one.
Ugh.
Foul called on Christine.
It's just going to be the Fitzgerald show right now. She just she's feeling it, and she's just so tough.
Can you tell these teams want to win right now, Gary?
Yeah.
They're bringing it. 55-51, Carroll leads. Fitzgerald with a chance to make it a 3-point lead. 6:22 left in the ball game as Fitzgerald gets ready to shoot. Carroll basketball on Rewind 94.9 is brought to you by Gold Island Casino. Play and stay where the winners go at Gold Island Casino. Fitzgerald knocks it down.
She never misses a free throw, I'll tell you.
It seems like it.
Yeah, and then they're back in the press.
Hilborn across the timeline to Denny. Denny passes it to Swanek. Swanek crosses over, back to Christine. Here's Denny on the drive. Kicks it to Wagner. Wagner off the glass, no good, but she draws the foul. Nice cut that time by Denny.
Real nice cut.
Mesa King with her third foul that time. And here's Wagner at the line. Emma Madsen will check in. Christine will get a quick spell here with 6 minutes left.
Well, who do you put on Fitzgerald right now?
Probably Sienna.
Emma probably can guard. Emma, when she puts her mind to it, can guard. But she's got to give Christine a rest because it's going to be the Fitzgerald show now.
First free throw good by Wagner. And I think last time, Gary, when we played them, it seemed like Christine and Sienna took turns guarding Fitzgerald. Tonight it's been Christine on Fitzgerald and Sienna on Mac, pretty much straight up. Second free throw good for Danny Wagner. 57-52, Carroll's lead back to 5. A lot of basketball left to be played here. 6 minutes to be exact. Brindley Fitzgerald. Guarded by Wagner. Off the switch, Fitzgerald. Drives to the lane. Wagner stays with her. Brindley goes up with it. It's no good. Loose ball. Pulled down by the Saints, but a foul called on the rebound. I think that's on Carroll.
Yeah, that's on Maddie. Nice defense, Danny Wagner.
Yeah, very nice.
Danny Wagner got switched on Fitzgerald and stayed with her very nicely. Made her shoot a tough shot. 3 fouls on Carroll, 2 on Western.
Inbounding for the Bulldogs, it's Weber. Looking to the corner, can't find Sheridan. Instead, she goes to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald on Madsen. Garrett's comes over on the aggressive help, and the shot no good from Fitzgerald. Carroll made her work for that one. Rebound by Swanek. Swanek to the other end. Camden Hilborn. Hilborn back out to Swanek. Swanek looking for Hilborn, and a foul called. Garrett's goes down. King knocked her loose.
Yeah, they're trying to get her the ball at the pinch post, and Western's denying at that time. Mesa got a little bit too aggressive.
And a nice sell by Maddie to go with it. Lily Gopher back in the game. King checking out.
That's 4 fouls on Mesa King.
Yeah, she was on the bench for a while, then came in and picked up 2 quick ones.
She helps him on the boards. She does.
Swanek inbounds it, and Garrett's goes down again that time. And now we got another foul.
They got a foul on Maddie Garrett's, I think. I think they got Maddie. And I didn't see the whole play.
It is. No, all I know is people were going down 2 plays in a row.
Yeah, I couldn't see the whole
Michelle's
play.
not pleased. All right, it's Western ball. 5:20 to go. 57-52. Carroll leads on the Mike Miller State Farm Insurance scoreboard. Natalie Denning has it, guarded by Swanek. Handoff. Sheridan. Sheridan looking for Weber. She finds her. Weber picks up a screen from Gopher. They're going to look for that screen and roll. Weber stays with it, though. Can't make it with her left. Nice defense that time as Garrett's comes down with the rebound. Hilborn to the other end. Madsen to Wagner. Back down to Madsen. Looking out for Hilborn. She finds her. Hilborn picks up her dribble. Goes low post to Garrett. Garrett steps through, and she draws the foul. Maddie will shoot 2 free throws.
And they cannot guard Maddie down there. They can't. And Carroll recognizes that. I just want to say something, Daniel, about how much Danny Wagner has improved her defense. I mean, they are going at her every time right now, and they're getting nothing. She is really, from the last time Carroll played Western to this time, that's 100% improvement by our All-American Danny Wagner.
Media timeout called. We're going to go ahead and take it. 57-52. Carroll leads by 5. You're listening to Carroll Basketball on Rewind 94.9 and KCAP.com. 57-52. Carroll in the lead by 5, 4:42 to go. Maddie Garrett's getting ready to shoot 2 free throws. Garrett's at the line. First free throw, no good. Before she takes her second, Carroll Basketball and Rewind 94.9 is brought to you in part by the Lewis and Clark Library. For more than 150 years, the Lewis and Clark Library has steadfastly served the residents of Lewis and Clark County with branch libraries in Helena, Augusta, Lincoln, East Helena, and the Bookmobile. Garrett's puts her second one up, and she knocks it down. So 1 and 2 for Maddie Garrett's at the stripe. 58-52, Carroll leads by 6. Sheridan passes to Gopher. Gopher off the dribble on Garrett's. Picks up her dribble. Gets it out to Fitzgerald. Gonna run that screen and roll again. Fitzgerald goes to the corner this time. Shani Mack, guarded by Swanek, takes to the lane. Nice defense by Sienna, but Shani Mack paves the way for herself and knocks it in.
That's tough stuff.
Shani Mack is really good.
Yeah, she is
I think
good.
she's one of the more underrated players in the conference.
I agree with you.
Swanek gets it across half court in the trap to Hilborn. Hilborn down low. Garrett's off the glass. It's good. Nice feed and a nice finish for the Fighting Saints that time. Hilborn to Garrett's for 2, and Carroll's lead is back at 6. 60-54 on the Mike Miller State Farm Insurance scoreboard. 3:51 to play. Sydney Sheridan in the lane. Blocking foul called on Hilborn. What do you think?
Well, that was a tough call. This is the toughest call, the block charge call. It could have gone either way. I'll put it that way. He was very assertive with it. That's the lead official that made the call, so, good for him.
Jamie Pickens and Christine Denny back in. Garrett's and Madsen will go to the bench. Good minutes from those two here in the fourth quarter. Free throw up from Sheridan is good.
Five team fouls on Carroll, 4 on Western, so we're shooting double the bonus here the rest of the way.
Second one's good for Sheridan. 4-point Carroll lead, 60-56, 3:49 to go.
Western in their press again.
Christine and Camden will team up in the backcourt to try and break this one. Nice having ball handlers. They get it across. Danny Wagner has it. Now Hilborn again. Hilborn, Christine Denny. Down low, Pickens. Pump fakes. Gets Fitzgerald in the air, off the glass, and good. I think they had a plan to go there that time.
Well, they can't handle the inside right now. Western's guarding every place else, but they really can't guard that very well.
Weber off the screen, gets around Wagner. 3-pointer up, correction, 2-pointer up. Stepped in that time, and Weber buries the jumper. She can really shoot it.
Yes.
Christine Denny looking to break the press. They're going to try and trap her in the half court. Down low, Pickens gets it off the glass. It's good. Jamie Pickens with a bucket.
And Carroll is burning that press right now.
Burning it.
They are burning it.
Eviscerating it.
Yeah.
2:55 to go. Jenny Weber comes around the screen, gives it to Sheridan. Sheridan to Weber. Now Mack. Mack crosses over, guarded by Swanek. Looks to get it out. Pickens gets a hand on it. Ends up in the hands of Sheridan. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Hard hedge by Pickens. They get Gopher on the screen and roll. 5 seconds on the shot clock. 3-pointer for Mack. Blocked by Hilborn. And Danny Wagner comes up with the rebound. The Saints are running. Camden Hilborn will pull it back in the half court, however, and pass it over to Denny. Swanek to Hilborn. Now Denny down low. Pickens one-on-one with Fitzgerald. Faces up. Jumper. It's good. 6 straight points from Jamie Pickens. 66-58. Saints lead by 8 now with 2 minutes left, and they are humming here as we get ready for crunch time. 30-second timeout called by Montana Western. Gary will keep it here. And you're right. I mean, they're exposing the post right now, getting it down there. Yeah. Easy bucket after easy bucket, and they're torching the press.
And Western, we know they like to save their press for the end, and they really pick it up. And they've come at Carroll hard with their press, but Carroll's been able to handle it, get the ball into Jamie down low, and she has hurt him. And as you look at Western's team, especially with Mesa King with 4 fouls, they don't really have a post defender that can handle either Jamie or Maddie, and so that's hurt him. I'm surprised Mesa only has 4 fouls. I'm surprised they haven't put her back in, but maybe they want Momberg or one of the other players for offense because Mesa doesn't give you the offense, but she gives you the defense.
1:58 to go, 66-58.
Macy is back in.
Oh, there she is.
Yeah.
You called it. Jenny Weber, far wing. Works to the top. Calls for some motion. Hands off to Sheridan. The Bulldogs need a bucket here, as bad as ever. King gets it on the elbow. Dribbles to her right, 6 on the shot clock. Weber guarded by Wagner. Denies the screen, kicks it out to Sheridan. Sheridan puts up a 3. It's blocked by Hilborn. Danny Wagner comes up with the rebound, and she is fouled.
Gosh, that's good defense by Hilborn. That's a help and recover. She helped down low and then a big-time closeout.
66-58, Carroll leads. Wagner will look to add as she does that. Carroll Basketball and Rewind 94.9 is brought to you by your Montana Toyota dealers and Helena Toyota. Also Mattress Firm, Montana's largest Tempur-Pedic retailer. Save time, save money. Rare miss at the free throw line there from Danny Wagner.
Yeah, she's almost 90%, isn't she? Somewhere in there.
Yes. Also A1 Rentals, making your projects easier on Cedar next to Party Plus, and St. Peter's Health. Don't forget to listen in the post-game show for our St. Peter's Health Gold Standard Player of the Game. Of course, our post-game show brought to you by Builder's First Source. Sydney Sheridan takes it to the other end. Wagner made the second. Carroll leads by 9, 67-58. A minute 20 to go here in the fourth quarter. Carroll looking to get a big win at home, and they are a minute and 15 away from that. Jenny Weber from deep off the rim, no good. Rebound, Swanek. Swanek will get out of traffic that time, and Carroll will push it up the court. And Christine Denny crosses half court. She's fouled right away.
And Daniel, Carroll's defense has really picked up this fourth quarter.
Lockdown,
man defense, team defense. No weak spots. I see no weak spots defensively right now for Carroll. And Western can really probe. They'll find them. You know, they spread you, and they on-ball you. They run really good stuff. Right now, Carroll's just had the answers defensively.
Danny at the stripe. She knocks down her first. One more on the way for Christine. We've talked about Christine a number of times. Second one up and good. And she's scored.
Well, she's had to guard Fitzgerald.
She scored 7 points right now, but she affects the game in so many different ways. It's not fair to just look at her point totals. Jenny Weber on the drive, puts it up, no good. Rebound by Mesa King. King goes back up with it off the glass and good for 2. Carroll still leads by 9, 69-60. Coach Woolley calls a full timeout, so we'll go ahead and take it as well. Carroll leading by 9, 46 seconds to play. We'll have that when we come back on Rewind 94.9 and KCAP.com. (69-60). Carroll in the lead here. 46.4 seconds left to go on the Mike Miller State Farm Insurance scoreboard. About done with game 1 of tonight's Frontier Conference doubleheader. Daniel Sally, Gary Turcotte here in the Brad Schmidt Allstate Insurance broadcast booth. And what was that, Gary? Sorry to cut you off.
No, that's okay, Daniel. I think what happened, Western took that timeout, and then Carroll took another 30-second timeout so they could advance it. If you call a timeout, so they can get the ball at the half-court line. And that is that is a new rule that is in women's basketball, and it has really changed the game at the end of games when you can call timeout and advance at the half court.
Carroll with the 9-point lead, looking to build. Really looking to just close out this game and get out of here with a win against a tough Western team. Danny Wagner is fouled by Jenny Weber. They tried to force a trap there by half court, and Wagner kind of peeled out around it.
And you like to get the ball to Danny in these situations. She's such a solid free throw shooter.
I tell you, she's having a great game.
She is.
She's having a great game. Wagner at the line, first free throw up, knocks it down. Here comes Danny's second. She knocks that one down. Emma Madsen checking in the game. Pickens will go to the bench. And that's a great fourth quarter by Jamie Pickens.
Absolutely. Took over the game in the fourth quarter, and with help with her teammates.
Shani Mack, cross half court. Picks up a screen from Weber. Drives inside, fade away. It's good.
God.
Nice finish by Shani Mack.
She is so much better than I realized.
Foul called quickly.
She's just about unstoppable one-on-one when they clear out a side for her.
Well, you know what she does is she uses her forearm.
She does.
She doesn't push off.
But she just uses it to get space, and then she spins. She'll spin dribble and create a little room for herself, and then gets a great angle. Always has a good angle and uses the backboard.
Swanek at the line. First free throw up, and it's good. And Sienna Swanek, what a game. Oh, my.
Shani Mack from Three Forks, Montana. Yeah.
Swanek with the second free throw up, and that's good. 24 points. I'm officially announcing that I'm campaigning for Sienna Swanek to be an All-American this year.
I like that call.
That is my big announcement for tonight's game. Mesa King on the other end. Danny Wagner knocks it loose, and she's diving for it, and Mesa King gets back to it. Some good hustle there. 17 seconds left, and you're leading by 9. Sydney Sheridan takes a step back, gives it to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald in the lane, goes by Denny, gets it up with her right, draws the foul, and she'll shoot 2.
You know, I don't know, Daniel. We'll have to look at the stats to see if Fitzgerald ever came out of the ball game. She played 20 minutes.
Very briefly, I think, around the turnover between the third and fourth quarter.
She played
very
20
briefly.
minutes the first half.
Very briefly.
Yeah.
We'll see on the final box, though. Unless they have it here. No, I don't think they include minutes on the live stats. Fitzgerald, free throw, good.
Boy, did she ever miss a free throw. She's going to have some interesting numbers at the end of this one.
I'm excited to look at that line.
Yeah.
Don't forget, after the game, we'll have the Carroll post-game show built by Builders First Source, and we'll announce our St. Peter's Gold Standard Health Player of the Game. Fitzgerald makes her second. Inbounding from the baseline is Hilborn. Pickens launches it down court. Denny gets a hand on it. 5 seconds left, and Denny loses it out of bounds.
You know, I look at Fitzgerald and I say, why didn't the Bobcats want to keep her? You can't tell me she couldn't help the Bobcats play. I mean, she's got a great stroke, great shot. She gets to the rim. She shoots good. She's got strength. She's got a Division I body.
2 seconds left, and that'll do it for today's ball game. Game 1 of tonight's doubleheader, I should say, between Carroll and Western. 70-3-64, your final on the Mike Miller State Farm Insurance scoreboard. Carroll comes out victorious in this one. We're going to have a quick break. When we come back, it'll be the Carroll College Fighting Saints post-game show built by Builders First Source. We'll talk to Rochelle Sayers in the Rutgers Furniture Coaches Lounge, and we'll also announce our St. Peter's Gold Standard Health Player of the Game. 73-64, however, a win in Game 1 for Carroll College this evening. You're listening to Fighting Saints Basketball on Rewind 94.9 and KCAP.com.